YouTube, what is up? It's Anthony with Bad Dog Creative. If you're new here, thanks a lot for stopping by. I really appreciate you coming here and listening in today. Usually I'm posting build videos on the channel, but I'm starting to do some of these vlogs to hopefully get some information out to you guys. So on today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips for starting a woodworking side hustle. I guess before I jump in, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and why maybe you should listen to the tips from me. So I'm a designer and a builder. I have 2 degrees in architecture, and I've been running my own construction business now for a little over a year. I've worked for some bigger design build firm companies, and for the whole time I've been running my business, I have also been selling some woodworking projects on the side. I've sold one contract over $10,000 and a bunch of other ones below that. Some I've made good money on, others I've maybe broken even. I don't want to say lost money, but didn't make as much per hour, like really low hourly rates on some of them. So I'll tell you a little bit about my experience and maybe to help you succeed out there and get some good projects. So the first tip might be really obvious, but you're going to want to market yourself honestly and frequently. And what I mean by honestly, and that might be just super obvious, but use photos of your work, not other people's work. That's just unethical, maybe illegal, I don't know. Take pictures of your stuff. You're also going to want to be honest about your capabilities when you're marketing yourself. This could be in your marketing material, when you're actually doing sales calls or sales meetings, all that stuff. You're not going to want to tell a client you can build them a 35-foot epoxy river walnut table when your garage is only 20 feet deep. You're going to have some challenges if the table's bigger than your space. That's maybe an exaggeration, but just be honest about what you can deliver, when you can deliver it, and anything else you could possibly think of. You just want to be transparent and honest with your potential customers. And sometimes telling somebody, no, you can't do it in one way, but I can do it in a different way, can help people feel more comfortable with you. Even if they came to you asking, can you build me this? And you tell them, no, I can't do that, but I can do it this way because of the tools I have and the capabilities and the knowledge that you have. That will just help you establish a better relationship right off the bat and probably a better chance of just selling the job. So that's kind of the first thing. Yeah, be honest when you're marketing yourself. The other part about marketing is you're going to want to market yourself frequently. And maybe frequently isn't the best word, abundantly. You want to get yourself out there in as many avenues as you possibly can. So this could be website, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, passing flyers out, have business cards, a website. I mean, maybe I said that twice. I don't know. But the point is, you want to get your services out there to as many people as you possibly can, and you got to talk about it. You got to talk about your services with your friends and your family, people you know, even random people you just meet in places. Like, oh, hey, yeah, random guy, we're waiting here to get a table at a restaurant. Like, what's up, man? What do you do? Oh, you're a banker? That's cool. Oh, I do woodworking. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you want a table in the future? Oh, here's a card. Yeah. Oh, it was good chatting with you. Yeah, it looks like you have a beautiful family. And just talk with people and pass out cards, tell people your services, give out your phone number, and eventually one of those people will call you. And one of them might want a really high-end piece of furniture from you. So yeah, you want to market yourself honestly and in as many places as you possibly can. I get a lot of projects personally from Facebook Marketplace, and I have heard other YouTubers out there, I won't name any names, but some bigger channels talk about Facebook and Craigslist being kind of a bad avenue to get projects. And in some ways they're not wrong, because I get a lot of inquiries on there for my custom furniture posts that I put out there. And most of them are people that just can't afford custom work, right? They might want a dining table for $800. And as many of you know, getting the lumber, especially hardwood, like it's going to be more than that. So there's a lot of people on Facebook that just want cheaper stuff. They don't have as big of budgets. So you'll get a lot of inquiries, and you got to be able to sift through them pretty quickly. So, which brings me to the second tip, which is find a way to filter out the customers that can't afford your services. For me, I get a lot of inquiries on Facebook specifically, and I usually very quickly tell people once they've sent me a message like, hey, I want this thing, table, bench, whatever it might be. Hey, can you send me some pictures, some inspiration images of what you're thinking you might want, and do you have an approximate size of the piece that you want? And then right away, I can get a pretty good idea, like, hey, the cheapest I can build this is $1,500 or $2,000, whatever it might be. Sometimes the price, it obviously depends on what they want, right? So, but it allows me to just quickly tell them, like, hey, something like this might cost in this price range, and then get a reaction from them. And people will either do one of a couple things. So they'll sometimes not answer, which is kind of funny because it usually just immediately tells you, like, you're too expensive. Or they'll tell you, like, hey, this is too much. Can you do something cheaper? Or like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, like, custom stuff costs that much. Like, maybe I'll reach out at a different time when I can afford it. People say all different kinds of stuff, right? But the reaction you want is, oh, okay, like, that's the price I was thinking. That's the price range I was hoping for. And when you get those people, then you want to be like, okay, that sounds great. Do you have time for a call? Let's talk about some more of the details, and I'll get you an exact price, and I'll send you a quote. I'm going through a tunnel now. Sorry, guys. Lighting changed. So now you've got a client on the hook, and you're exchanging messages back and forth. You're talking about all the details, and you're ready to start quoting it. Which brings me to the third point, which is when you are discussing these projects with clients, you want to get all of the details into your quote. I mean, down to, like, the specific type of wood, the thickness of the tabletop. Maybe there's an image of what the base looks like. Is it a prefab base? Are you making it? All of the things. I'm talking about tables specifically, but maybe it's a cutting board. How thick is the cutting board? What is the size of it, right? What is the wood species? How soon will you deliver it? What is the finish? Just all the details that you could possibly think of that could go into the project. You need to capture them in the quote. And that leads into the fourth point. And the fourth point is when you deliver the quote, the first quote, give them your best quote on the first go. Because, and some people will say, like, oh, the prices are a little high, and maybe I can back off on the quote. But in my experience, I've found that if it's just priced too high, and you think after you deliver it, you're going to wait to see how somebody reacts and then tell them later, like, oh, I'll chop money off, it tends to rub people the wrong way. For some reason, it just does, and some people get kind of excited, but you typically don't want to be the one offering that. You typically want to wait for them to ask you, like, hey, can you do a little better? And then maybe you'll shave, like, a couple $100 off, like, 2 to 5%. You're like, somebody asks you to like take money off your quote and you chop it in half, like, you look like an idiot because you just took your like $2,000 quote. Like, yeah, I'll do it for $1,000. And it's not to say you can't bring the price down if they change wood species or the details in the quote, but don't just like hack your price down just to get the job, because at the end of that project, you're probably going to be really exhausted, and that's probably going to be the same client who's going to nitpick every detail and have you back to like refinish it or just to do things again and again and again. So, so give them the best price on the first time, and maybe have a little bit of room for negotiation. Don't be totally closed-minded to negotiations, unless you're actually that busy where you're just like, hey, I can't change the price. I'm booked out 8 months. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not booked out 8 months. I would be willing to guess. Maybe you are. I don't know. Which brings me to the fifth and final point, which is know when to walk away from projects. Some projects aren't meant for you and that client. Maybe it's out of your capabilities. Maybe they don't have the budget to pay you what the work is worth. And you just got to know when to walk away. And some clients will keep you on the hook and keep talking to you and talking to you and talking to you, and then changing their mind and saying they want this material and that material, and then, no, the price is too high, no, I'm actually good, and then like, oh, let me like talk to my wife and get back to you in a week, and then and they'll be on and off with you for a while, like, eventually you got to just be like, hey, like, here's the price for my work. Just give me a call when you're ready to schedule, and I'll come collect a deposit. So, just got to be polite with people and honest, and you'll get some projects. So get out there. I hope you enjoyed these tips. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you learned something here, or you find this useful and you'll use some of this in your woodworking side hustle. So best of luck to you in your journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.